Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and welcome you to my weekly reading for the week of February 28th through to March 6th. It's hard to believe that we are heading straight into March. February has gone by in a blink of an eye. We are heading now into that spring month. Of course, in March, we have the spring equinox. So we start to shift gears from that colder, harsher winter into that more forgiving and emerging spring. This week, we are blessed to start the week off on that full snow moon energy. Not to mention, we're still in Pisces. There are so many amazing opportunities that this week is offering you. It's up to you to slow down, take some advice, some wisdom, and utilize this time to your advantage. Of course, knowing those challenges and obstacles will support you in embracing these opportunities. This way, you're more prepared for the week to come. You're more able to make high vibrational choices for you. And that is exactly what this reading will be all about. Making your best and greatest decisions and creating solutions that will support you for your greater good. The decks I've chosen to support us in this reading are the Tarot of the Hidden Realm, the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and then to top it all off, the Sovereign Oracle. These decks will help us find that answer we're looking for and giving us good guidance and tools on how we can overcome and create what it is we need to this week. And like always, there are links below to all these fantastic decks. So should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. The selections that I have for you this week, I have some Amethyst, some Sodalite, and Lepidolite. Choose whichever crystal resonates with you right now. It may not be your favorite crystal, however, it's the crystal you can't keep your eyes off of. And then go into the description box below. There you're going to find timestamps. Click on the crystal's correlating timestamp. It's going to take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Amethyst friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Amethyst friends. What can my Amethyst friends expect from the week of February 28th through to March 6th? Grief. It's going to be a challenging week. A lot of that pain, that heartache is going to come forward. We're going to have to start to deal and work through some of this pain. Many times when we do these readings, I tell you, we're just going to move forward. We need to take everything that we're carrying and just keep going. This week, we're going to have to address some of this baggage, some of this heaviness, that sadness, that heartache. This week is going to give you an amazing opportunity for that release, for that healing. And off the get-go, there is one meditation that comes to my mind. And that's the meditation I did with Archangel Metatron, where we worked on that release and that healing of that pain and heartache. It's exactly what we need this week. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about my meditations, I've got 2 playlists. One is Healing with the Archangels. That's where we find that Archangel Metatron healing meditation. And the other is Just You and Me playlist, where it's just you and me. And we connect in and work on a skill or tool that's going to support you on your journey. These meditations are guided meditations that take about 30 minutes. And most importantly, they are free to you to visit and revisit as you need. So this meditation with Archangel Metatron will be a fantastic meditation that you visit and or revisit this week as you need. This week is going to be about that healing, about loving you. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the week, we have that full snow moon, divine feminine energy flowing in with us into this week. We can utilize that to our advantage, supporting us with this intent of healing and releasing. Let's gain some more insight into this week. What should my Amethyst friends, focus in on this week? This deck is so challenging to shuffle, but so insightful. I love it. This deck never ceases to amaze me. Undergrowth. More has been achieved than is visible to the eye. The real magic is under the surface of your assumptions. The situation supported by invisible nourishment. Give thanks. There is so much more going on underneath, within us, in those darker recesses. We're just too caught up in that heartache and pain to acknowledge and embrace these aspects, these pieces that would support us the most. You guys chose Amethyst, which is an amazing healing crystal. And we're going to need that amethyst energy, that healing, to support us in what this week is offering you. Because it is an amazing opportunity for shifting out of that pain, shifting out of some of those tentacles that are holding us back. Yes, we have lived through some pretty hard situations, and things continue to move forward, and we are reminded of that pain. New events, new situations, bringing in that heartache, bringing in that sadness. However, as we start to heal and release some of that built up pain and heartache, we're going to be able to see aspects that have been emerging, but have been overshadowed by that pain. Let's get into this week. Let's see how we can start to take care of us on a deeper level. What can my Amethyst friends expect from the beginning of the week? Pain is such a hard thing. That grief and sadness, it can be debilitating. Oh. The Lovers, the 6th card in the Major Arcana. And yes, it's about that relationship, but it's more than that. The Lovers talks about that committed relationship, that dedication. And we need to shine it on us. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, it has Archangel Raphael in the top part of the card, overseeing the two lovers. We need Archangel Raphael this week as well, supporting us with that healing. Again, I have a meditation with Archangel Raphael that would support you in what it is you want to do, what it is you need to do this week. This week is about taking time for you, working on your relationship with you, your understanding of you. It's time to do some work just for you. The beginning of the week, as we continue to carry in that full snow moon energy, that divine feminine energy, that nurturing energy, well, we're going to need it to put it back on us, redirect it to us, helping strengthen and rejuvenate us. The beginning of the week, it's going to be a fantastic time to connect in with you. It doesn't have to be hours and an absorbent amount of time. The meditations that I'm suggesting, they're about 30 minutes and can be easily fit in your day. Balance is important. We don't need to add more to our plate. We want to start to release some of this baggage, some of these tentacles that have encircled and engulfed us, slowing us down, causing stagnation. So, ensuring we have that balance. Time for you, time for your world on all aspects. So let's go into the middle of the week. What can my amethyst friends expect from the middle of the week? The Three of Cups. That community, that connection card. I know some of us are really feeling that disconnect, and that's adding to some of our grief. We need to think of unique ways to connect in, to support our important individuals in our life, and also be supported as well. A lot of times this grief that we're holding on to, it just doesn't impact us. It impacts our closest network of people. Supporting them in releasing this pain as well. Helping them to move forward. Through connecting and releasing together, you're going to find not only do you all feel much better, you're all getting unstuck. You're all being rejuvenated and inspired, supporting you in moving forward, getting out of that stuck darkness, that undergrowth, and into that light, into what's working and fulfilling. These are important aspects not only in your journey, but theirs. Remembering we're part of this community. If we're struggling and caught up by the grief, they too, we know, are struggling. We all are, on different aspects. This last year hasn't been kind to us. We need to start to release that grief, that pain, and allow those emerging aspects to come forward, come into the light, and support us more fully than what they're currently doing. Additionally, part of that undergrowth, those pieces and aspects that are being hidden and overtaken by this kind of gunky heaviness, is our support team. Because we are feeling so disconnected from what our norm was. We're being disconnected from our support teams, from those who matter. It's about using our creativity to our advantage. We have the amazing gift of creativity. Many of us have forgotten that, or are too caught up in what's happening to acknowledge it, to use our creativity to create solutions that are for our best interest. The middle of the week, we do need to spend a little bit of extra time, and a little bit of extra energy looking at that solution, looking at that connection, ensuring that it is for our greater and highest good. Getting caught up on this, it's never fun, because what happens in that stagnation, in that heartache, the universe comes in and kicks us into gear. The tower comes in, and then we're dealing with a whole different situation. We don't have the free will or the creativity to overcome the situation we're dealing with. We're dealing with that tower strike, that lightning strike that causes more pain and more heartache. So let's avoid that. Let's take matters into our own hand, working on us, supporting us and our community by releasing. The easiest way to do that, of course, is through modeling it, taking care of us, connecting in, saying hi, talking about how we're working on that release, how we're working on self to empower and invigorate you. Let's go on to the end of the week. Let's finish this off and see what we're looking at. What can my amethyst friends expect from the end of the week? The Moon, the 18th card in the Major Arcana. That divine feminine energy, it's going to be drawn in throughout the week. We have the first couple of days in this week being embraced and supported by the full snow moon, while that divine feminine energy is being drawn throughout this week. We need this energy. We need that divine feminine energy to support us in connecting in with self, connecting in with community, and releasing, giving us a clearer pathway forward. It's hard to see in this card, however, the moon is a gatekeeper. You follow that path, you work on what it is you need to work on, and you're going to have that rite of passage. This release, this healing, it's a rite of passage. We're going to feel so much stronger, so much more us than we have in forever. Taking those little pockets of time for you will really support you in pruning out and releasing some of the stuff that's grown in. A lot has happened over the last year. A lot has happened in this lifetime and past lifetimes. We need to start to prune away and release. It's not serving us. The end of the week, we're looking at continued care for self. That divine feminine, that nurturing energy is there. We just need to be open to it and embrace it. Yes, I know there's a lot of uncertainty when we start to look at releasing that grief. Our ego will flare up and add and compound grief with fear. The moon does talk about that mystery, that unknown, that feared side of the feminine. We need to ensure that when we start to get anxious or uncertain or fearful, that we acknowledge it for what it is, and then use tools that will support you in overcoming that fear. And the best tool that I can give you is a couple meditations. The first one is a grounding meditation. It's a fantastic meditation that I brought out in my Just You and Me series, where we work on that grounding, that stability. That stability will go a long way in this healing, in this growth. Additionally, you can add in that protection meditation that I have. These are the first couple meditations I did in my Just You and Me series. Knowing these tools were so valuable. We need them. It helps with that fear, with that uncertainty. We feel stronger and more able to do what it is we want and need to do. So, the end of the week, we're continuing with that healing. We want to step through and get rid of some of this heaviness, some of this sadness that's been accumulating. We don't have to go through or relive this. And that's a huge piece of this. We don't want to re-traumatize ourselves. We want to work on that healing on a global so that that sadness and that pain is released. I don't want you to re-traumatize yourself. I want you to reflect on this. This is not about reflection. This is about global healing, focusing in on that happiness and light. And that's important. It will support you with your growth rather than causing more stagnation. It's amazing how we can easily traumatize ourselves. If your mind starts to go forward with that because your ego is trying to slow you down, stop what you're doing, ground yourself, and redirect your mind to your breath. We don't want to cause ourselves more pain and heartache. We want to work on that healing, work on us. So, like I just said, our ego is going to be kind of kicking up on this because your ego does not want this healing. Let's look at what other challenges you're going to face this week. What challenge will my Amethyst friends face for the week of February 28th through to March 6th? Now, as I'm looking at these cards, guys, we have the Three of Cups flanked by two major arcanas. That balance. Balance is essential. We don't want to hyper-focus in on this. Like I said, we want manageable small pieces that we can do throughout our week to help with that release. This is an ongoing process where we're going to be healing and releasing throughout our lifetime. This week is focused in on this healing, but we don't want to hyper-focus in on it. We need to live our life and enjoy all the other opportunities that this week offers us. We don't want to get bogged down on this. So ensuring we have that balanced perspective and approach this week will support us with even more growth and release. The Page of Swords. We're going to have resistance to the change. Like I said, our ego is going to be playing into this. And we're going to have that inflexibility and fear to go forward. That resistance. Resistance to changing status quo, to tackling that unknown. Pages are that carefree, childlike energy that's full of exploration, full of creativity and fun. We're going to miss out on that because we're going to be resisting that shift, resisting that unknown. Because what happens when we release that pain? We have ownership of it right now. But when we release that pain, we can take our knowledge, we can take our situation and grow from it. Take that knowledge for the knowledge's sake, rather than the emotion that was wrapped up in that information, and use it to our advantage. Like I said, we have to be careful with this. We don't want to re-traumatize ourselves and relive those situations. However, we're going to have those aha moments where we're going to be able to take that insight, that, oh, right, information, and go forward, not backwards or in that kind of swirling stagnation that we're finding ourselves in. We need to use the information to our advantage to allow us to explore those opportunities, to move ourselves forward. Move ourselves forward to a more fulfilling and joyous time. And yes, it can happen. We just need to put a little bit of work into it. Refocusing us and taking care of us. That turns that page from an obstacle to an ally. We're invigorating that inquisical, that playful energy that's going to support us in really embracing this rite of passage and enjoying what's on the other side. So, it's very doable with some work, with some time and energy on your part. This is about you and no one else can do it. This is something that you need to do for you. All right. I'm going to support you with a little bit more guidance here. We're going to go into some blessings. What's going to help you with overcoming some of these challenges here? What blessings can my amethyst friends embrace for the week of February 28th through to March 6th? Impartiality. Such a fantastic card. We can't have preconceived notions on expectations or outcomes. We need to be open and present for what this week is and all that it offers you. When you're open to it and you embrace it, you embrace those opportunities, the healing, the time for you, you're going to find that you can create a much different outcome. When we have those blinders on, those expectations, and almost demands of the week, of these opportunities that are there for us, well, we start to limit what it is we get from this week. Being open to experience and enjoy that healing, that time for you, that time for those important people, that path, it becomes a lot easier. We're able to make it our own in our unique way. That openness, that ability to embrace this week for what it is and how it's going to impact you. It's going to be an important element in really getting the most out of this week. Like I said, this is up to you. This is your journey. You need to be that active participant. And part of that active participant is being open and being ready for what it is that's being presented and when it is being presented. Because sometimes these aha inspirations, they come in at very unique and different times. Being open to it and embracing it and using it to your advantage. Fantastic one. Guilt. Like I said earlier, there's a bit of ownership in that heartache, in that pain. And should we release it, we have that guilt. But what about? If I do that, how will others feel? How will that impact them? I don't want to forget. I don't want to move past that pain. Knowing that no matter where that pain and heartache come from, those important individuals, whether they be in this realm or in others, don't want you to be holding on to that pain, that grief. Just like in this picture, she's lost her dog. And for some of us, that might not be as impactful to others. But knowing that that passed on loved one wouldn't want you stuck, wouldn't want you mourning their loss, knowing that they have moved on, that they're still there for you. It's just in a different way. So that grief, it is wrapped up in perspective, because it's so easy to get caught up and say, well, I don't want to forget. That experience, it sits heavy. I can't get rid of it. Perspective might be a challenge to get rid of, but when we take the knowledge that that experience shared with you, you're more open to that healing. We need to have permission and intention for this week. It goes a long way in getting done what you need done. Pain, fear, heartache, that's low vibration. It holds you down and causes stagnation. Like I said, stagnation, it doesn't help us at all. Let's end off here on what will help us. What further insight, wisdom, and guidance can we share with my Amethyst friends for the week of February 28th through to March 6th? The Six of Pentacles. Like I said earlier, that balance, it's going to be important. When we balance our energies and our time on all aspects of self, we get more out of it. There's more abundance. There's more growth. We need to make sure that we are meeting our needs on all levels. That emotional, that spiritual, and physical self. That balance, it goes a long way in supporting us with further growth, further understanding, because we feel more stable. And stability is a key element in achieving what we want to and what we need to achieve. Now, we do have double sixes. We have the Lovers, the sixth card in the Major Arcana, and then the Six of Pentacles. When you have that multiple six, the angels are telling you, wait for it, to balance your thoughts between the physical and the spiritual worlds. Just in case we had missed that message, we really want to hit home with that balance. One of the ways I can support you with that balance is a meditation that I did with Archangel Cassiel, where we work on that balance, supporting you in releasing some of the barriers that you have to creating balance in your life and helping that energy to maintain within you. It's a fantastic meditation to support you in something that will create that stability within you for further growth, further development, and really being able to embrace what this week is offering you. Oh, it's not surprising to see this card. I kind of felt him coming. The Blasted Beach, or in other decks, the Tower, the 16th card in the Major Arcana. We need to be very mindful of what we're doing, our choices throughout our week. The universe is at that point of, well, do I need to give you a bit of a kick in the butt to get you going? Or are you going to make the choices that are for your greater good and get you moving? The blasted beach or the tower isn't coming in this week. However, it is looming. This stagnation needs to be shifted. The universe needs you to keep moving. The universe itself will only allow you to be stuck for so long before it takes matters into its own hands. Similar to a parent reminding a child, well, the universe has a very unique way in reminding us that we are here to experience, to learn, and to grow. Stagnation stops us from all of that. So it's important that we take the time and we work on what's going to support us so we have that right of choice and free will. Because the universe, it's on your doorstep here. It's ready to encourage or push you forward. It's up to you on how the universe is going to support you this week for your greater good. And I know it's a little bit harsh saying that, yeah, the tower, that blasted beach is for your greater good, but it is, because we're getting you unstuck. It's just the blasted beach or the tower adds in more pain that you're going to have to heal in the future. Here we have that choice. So it's up to us to choose wisely. Such a fantastic card. The Fool. No matter on our accord or through the universe, this week is offering you that movement. We need that connection in to what it is we signed up for. What's going to bring in meaning and joy. At the end of the week, we're going to really see over that pathway, over that hill. And there is where you're going to have that rite of passage, that new beginning. We're releasing what's holding us back. And this week, we're getting ourselves going again. And that's important. It's been a year of kind of funky stagnation and stumbling. It's time to get unstuck and get ourselves going. Like I said, it's up to you whether you do it or whether the universe does. So please choose wisely, my friends. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Amethyst friends. Hello and welcome, my Sodalite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle decks here, so you get the fullest and most comprehensive reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Sodalite friends. What can my Sodalite friends expect from the week of February 28th through to March 6th? Oh, very good week. growth. It's so fantastic when we have a week that we're looking at something that we're looking for, that we need, that makes sense. That growth, that development. Of course, with growth and development, you're looking at abundance and prosperity. Because anytime you're looking at that amazing development and evolution of self, well, the universe likes to reward us. So it's truly a win-win situation. Not only are you feeling more fulfilled in what it is you're doing, you're being rewarded with added abundances and prosperity that lead to even more opportunities, which leads to more growth, which leads to more prosperity, which leads to more opportunities. So you can see how this is a really good week. We're coming in this week with that full snow moon energy. And that's going to support us with that growth, with that development. Now, if you've seen my readings for the full snow moon, you'll understand about that reflection and understanding. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go and check it out, because that information and reading will support you in the beginning part of this week. Back to your growth. We're going to be looking at some of those aha moments that we received through the full snow moon, supporting us and helping us with those shifts that, of course, helps us with that growth. So let's get a little bit more insight into this growth. What should my Sodalite friends focus in on this week? I love this deck. It is so fantastic. Process. Be curious about how you do it. Find a flow that works for you. Give the work time and space to unfold. Rushing will only delay things further in the end. We can't rush this growth. We can't push ourselves any harder than what we are. We do need things to naturally unfold. Like I said, these shifts, they're going to be really important. We're not looking at leaps and bounds and unstable change. We're looking at growth. And growth in itself, when you're looking at plants, it takes time. It takes time for the roots to take hold and things to sprout out. And that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a process. These little shifts, they add to this growth. Think of the shifts as fertilizer that's going to support with that growth and that development. So this week, we are looking at that growth. Little steps that you've been taking along the way have started to add up. And we're starting to see some difference. And it's in that difference that we're looking at this week. And like I said earlier, this hard work, it's paying off. Not only in our understanding and acknowledgement, but in what the universe is giving back to us, because we have been slowly focusing in more on what's important to us. Let's get into this week a little bit more. What can my Sodalite friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Four of Pentacles. So fantastic. Fours in tarot, of course, you're looking at that foundation, that stability. And this growth, it's stable. And what's more, that pentacle is about not only growth, but abundance. And that's very true for what we're looking at. Like I said earlier, the universe rewards us for our hard work. At the beginning of the week, you're going to see those rewards come forward. Those opportunities start to open up and become more noticeable. Now, the important aspect here is that you're going to have to be present for it. You can't be hyper-focusing in on the future and those what-ifs. We need to be focused in on the here and the now. When we focus in on the present, those opportunities, they really pop. And those opportunities support our abundance, our prosperity, and of course, further growth. At the beginning of the week, we need to take stock, be present, and be open to all the opportunities that are right there for you. And if you're struggling to see these opportunities or know how to go forward, I have a meditation that can support you with this. Months ago, I worked with Archangel Christiel, and she's not as well known as many archangels. She's very high vibration and has been working with the high vibrational beings, the unicorns and dragons. But Archangel Christiel is going to support us in our pathway forward. In this meditation that I did with Archangel Christiel, we focused in on your pathway. And when you start to meditate, you're in the present. You're focusing in on you and your breath, opening yourself up to the guidance and those steps forward, those opportunities. It's a fantastic meditation to start your week off. It helps to really get things in perspective and give you that direction. If you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about what meditations I'm talking about, I have 2 meditative playlists. One is Healing with the Archangels, and of course, that's where you're going to find that meditation with Archangel Christiel. And the second is a playlist that I've created called Just You and Me, where that's exactly what it is. It's just you and me. We're connecting in and working on tools and skills that will support you. These are guided meditations that are about 30 minutes long, and most importantly, they are free to you to use and revisit as you need. These tools are an added support for you on your journey. So back to Archangel Christiel. Like I said, she'll really set your week up amazing. Additionally, she's connected into that moon energy. Well, like I said, that full snow moon is going to support you with some of that foundation and that understanding. So, beginning of the week, we're looking at getting going. That stable energy is going to support us to take some initial steps into these opportunities, helping us to make some decisions that are for our greater good. Let's go into the middle of the week. What does the middle of the week bring, my Sodalite friends? The 6 of Cups. Such a fantastic card. So, during the middle of the week, we're going to have some time to reflect in on where it is we've gone, what it is we've done, and what's more, how we can use all that amazing insight, information, and tools to our advantage. We have used some amazing skills and tools throughout our journey, which we may have forgotten. We can utilize them now and start to meld and sharpen them to fit our needs. This time of reflection, looking back on self, will give you some insight on not only what it is you've overcome, but how you can use it to your advantage right now. Like I said, we need to use the tools that are right at hand to help us forward. We do have to be careful though. We don't want to get caught up in that heartache and pain. We know it's there. we've overcome a lot. It's not always been clear sailing. We've had some pretty hard knocks. We don't want to get caught up in it. When we start to focus in on that pain and heartache, that fear, we're going to slow ourselves down. We're going to miss the information that we need. This is guidance forward. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to get stuck back there. Balancing things out so we take the insight, the tools and wisdom and use that to our advantage. So, the beginning of the week, we're going to have these opportunities come forward. The middle of the week, we're going to be able to connect in and see how we can use our skills, abilities, and tools that we have been using historically in these new situations, these opportunities, to support us with further growth, development, and prosperity. So that's what we're going to be doing in the first half of the week. Let's look at the last part here. What can my Sodalite friends expect from the end of the week? Oh yeah, the Eight of Wands. That movement, that manifestation, that fire forward. The Eight of Wands talks about using your passions and your creativity alongside that intuitive guidance from the high vibrational beings in universe and making some amazing headway in our journey. Now, when I say headway, I don't mean leaps and bounds. I'm all about that stability and maintainability. So this is progression forward, but in a stable way. Our week is about growth. We have that foundation, that earthiness in the card. We started our week out with the Four of Pentacles that adds in even further stability. We're going to feel stronger and more able at the end of the week to start to put some energy, set some intentions, and work on these opportunities. Start to incorporate them little by little into our everyday, helping you to maintain the stability and the abundances that we have in our life. We're just adding on to it. We're not demolishing or changing in big ways. We're just adding on. The more we focus in on aspects that are going right, that bring us that passion, fulfillment, and joy, we start to neglect those aspects that aren't going so well. They can't thrive if they don't have our attention and our energy. We're focusing our attention and energy on aspects that not only work and are going right, but bring in joy, fulfillment, and of course, big time, that abundance. And I don't just mean prosperity and financial growth. I'm talking about abundance on all aspects of self. You feel like your cup is full. You're excited for your day and the adventure forward. That abundance, it's important. It really does give us that meaning to what it is we're trying to achieve. So this is your week. It's a fantastic week of growth, of expansion, of new opportunities that are coming forward to support you with even further growth. So let's look at the challenge, because we've been kind of sidestepping it, and it's time that we look at that obstacle so we know how to overcome it with greater ease. What challenge will my Sodalite friends face for the week of February 28th through to March 6th? the Ace of Wands. Now, aces are about new beginnings and gifts from the universe. The Ace of Wands, it really reminds me of a match that's about to be struck and engulfed in flames. That passion, that connection. Our challenge is going to be that we're going to feel disconnected from some of these opportunities. We're not going to see right away how they're relevant to us, to what it is we're hoping to do. It's in that disconnection that we're going to have resistance to these opportunities, which is going to reduce your ability to reflect in on what skills and abilities you need to sharpen and meld into something that's more useful. And you're going to have no motivation to work on it, to start to incorporate it into your everyday, because there is such a disconnection. When we have this disconnection, it's important that we start to explore where that disconnection comes in, where this uncertainty comes from. When we have this time of self-reflection, of questioning, that is our critical thinking and assessment skills. Our ego is behind a lot of this, because growth is such a 4-letter word, because growth is a scary word for your ego. Growth and change and shifting, that's dangerous for your ego. Your ego wants to keep you safe and stagnant. And that's not what this week is about. It's about really checking in and exploring all the opportunities that are right here. All that you've ever wanted to do starts with some small, steady steps. But that means that we need to evolve and change. That growth. Which your ego is like, yeah, no, safe. We need to keep you safe. Growth, bad, stay here. So that resistance, that fear, that disconnection, it stemmed from your ego not wanting to support you with this. So checking in and really questioning, asking yourself those hard questions, because your ego is based in low vibration on that gut response, not on higher thinking. So the more you think about it, reflect into it, and challenge yourself, the more you're going to turn the Ace of Wands from an obstacle to an ally. And you're going to see that inner spark erupt and guide your path forward even more fully, bringing in that connection and understanding that you'd once missed. It's a fantastic opportunity and, again, tool that you can use to your advantage. It's just, you have to take it slow, one step at a time, and not react. That reaction, like I said, that's ego-driven, low vibration. You want to stay in the high vibration to make choices and decisions for your greater good. So, going on the high vibration, let's go into some blessings. What blessings will support my Sodalite friends? Whoa, that's important. For the week of February 28th through to March 6th. Acceptance. Oh yeah, big one. Accepting where we're at right here, right now. We may not be entirely excited and fulfilled with what we're doing or what's happening for us. However, if we accept where we're at right now, with the understanding that what we want is to further grow and develop, working with us rather than against us, we're going to nurture us, strengthening us, giving us the ability to embrace the opportunities and make the changes that you want through shifting and stable steps. That way you can make the changes that you need. And then again, it goes back down to the acceptance. This is a process, and this will take some time. We have to love and nurture us for us right now, for our greater good. I do have a number of meditations on that kind of self-acceptance, self-love with Archangel Chamuel. I recommend, if you haven't done one with him before, start with the first one, and then you can progress into the others, helping you to accept and love you. These are key pieces that you will need not only for this week, but for the weeks to come. Strengthening and energizing you through connection and love. Insecurity, your ego. Your ego will do anything to stop this. Like I said, that instability and uncertainty, it's going to come forward. It's important that when we are looking at that unstable energy, that we revert back to the grounding. Now, with the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, the cards correlate to the different chakras. So obviously the red is connected to your root chakra, which is down to that stable, grounding energy. So when we start to feel unstable and unsure, the most effective way to combat that is to ground ourselves. Feel stable within. So it doesn't matter what our ego is doing. We feel strong and stable in what it is we're doing. I do have a number of grounding meditations in both playlists because grounding is an essential part. It's a key element in our journey. Many of us are functioning from a very ungrounded foundation. That's why we're not getting too far. We're so easily toppled by our ego. So you can participate or revisit these meditations as you need throughout your week. To support you even more with maintaining that groundedness, that stability, you may want to add in some crystals. So participate in the meditation to create that stability, that groundedness, and then add in that crystal to support you in maintaining it. So obviously, any red or black crystal will support you with that groundedness. So something like tiger iron or black obsidian would do an amazing job at helping you to maintain that stability. These are easily and readily available. You can find them in many shops, natural food stores, of course the metaphysical stores. I've even found them in souvenir shops. Crystals are becoming more prevalent. You can find them online, and there are many myths about how you can't get the crystal you need by shopping online. It's untrue, very untrue actually. You can ask your high vibrational support team to ensure you get the crystal you need, and you will get it. It may not look like how you anticipated it, but you will get the crystal you need. Setting those intentions, well, they're so important. It helps you to truly get what it is you need and want. So any red or black crystal will help you maintain that stability, which would again support you in this process, in your progress, development, and growth. All right, we're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Sodalite friends for the week of February 28th through to March 6th. Life Renewed, the 20th card in the Major Arcana, also known as the Judgment card in many other decks. We're looking at that guidance, that support, and literally that rebirth. hearing the call of the universe, connecting in to that insight and wisdom, and aligning yourself more fully with your soul's deeper purpose, which I know is a nightmare because none of us remember. But funny enough, we knew that when we signed up. It's really a catch-22. It really sucks. But the more we're connected in to what brings us joy and fulfillment, the more we're aligning ourselves to our soul's deeper purpose, to what it is we're supposed to be doing. And that is why we have Life Renewed or the Judgment card. We're starting to see that growth and that alignment occur. It's a stable evolution that we can nurture and encourage. Oh, such a fantastic card. The Page of Cups. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy that's full of excitement, enthusiasm, and play. We need that. We don't want to get caught up in the work or feeling a burden with this. Additionally, we don't want to hyper-focus in on it because, again, that's something your ego would want. Slow you down. Add that burden, that feeling of burnout, and exhaustion. We need that balance so that we continue to meet the demands and expectations of our physical world while working on our emotional and spiritual on top of it. But it shouldn't be something, like I said, that we're dreading or that adds extra burden. It's something that we should naturally want. It brings us joy and fulfillment. So spending 30 minutes here and there throughout your week, connecting into some meditations. One way of really nurturing this process. Another way, of course, is going to be through your creativity. It's one of the aspects that bring in that fulfillment and joy. You have the passion-centered creativity in the wand, and then the intuitive creativity of the cup. It's really the yin and yang of creativity. With both aspects, you are going to create amazing results. And creativity, my friends, is not just arts and crafts or some sort of weird poetry. It's what's meaningful to you, how you express you. And that's a very individual piece. If you find fulfillment and joy that supports you and inspires others in a high vibrational way, you've got it. We need to participate in that. So giving yourself some time and energy to do so. Scheduling it in if you need. Ensuring that you have that time, that balance, to engage in some amazing opportunities. We're seeing that growth come forward in very stable ways. We want to encourage and nurture it to continue on this amazing journey, this amazing adventure. And finally, the King of Cups. Kings, of course, are the fully defined personality of the suit. We're still in that cup range, so we're looking at emotion and intuition. This row has a lot to do with that intuitional energy. We need that guidance and support. It helps to give us direction in our actions and how we're going to continue to evolve forward. Now the King of Cups adds in a bit of a flair here. Like I said, your ego is going to try and manipulate you. It's going to be important that you take a stand and control. The King of Cups in the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew in the original Rider-Waite, you have this very stoic king sitting on this weird concrete slab in the middle of a very chaotic ocean. And he's sitting there owning it. We need that stability in that storm. No matter what's happening on the outside, internally we have that stability, that strength. That way we can easily combat that ego. That's why that grounded energy is so important. It gives us that foundation to create solutions and responses that are high vibrational for us. We're not reacting in that gut reaction. We're being able to take that breath and go, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. This is what I've created to support me in what it is I need to do. I'm not going to respond to others who are barking at me and snapping at me. Rather, I'm going to take that deep breath and walk away. I'm not going to cause added challenge or conflict in my situation or day. I want to have that control on how I respond to things. That inner stability. So one of the few things that we can control in our life is how we respond. So it's something that we need to work on, something that we can continue to grow and develop as we strengthen our stability and our groundedness, and how we're very clear and intentional with ourselves on how we want to respond. This is an amazing week that really highlights the growth and the ongoing development that you're going to see. It's up to you, my friends, to make the decisions and embrace all that you can for your greater good. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Sodalite friends. Hello and welcome, my Lepidolite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week has in store for my Lepidolite friends. What can my Lepidolite friends expect from the week of February 28th through to March 6th? Ooh, it's a good week, guys. Perfection. And not in the thoughts that we're going to have that quote-unquote perfect week. Rather, we're going to check in to our thoughts of what perfect and that perfect life are going to be. Remember, my friends, at the beginning of the week, we have that full snow moon energy coming in with us. That reflection, that understanding. This week is offering you that ability to question and understand why perfect is truly in the eye of the beholder. And perfection can be something that is almost impossible to achieve, as it's in such a state of flux. We need to really look at some of those thought patterns, question our beliefs and our understanding. When we have a clearer foundation to work from, well, we're going to be able to work from it. If we are trying to achieve ideologies and thought patterns and perspectives that are unachievable, we start to beat ourselves up because we're not achieving what we'd wanted or hoped. We need more manageable bars to hit and overcome. When we have those manageable goals, those reachable goals, that is when our life is perfect. We're achieving, we're succeeding, we're growing, and we're finding fulfillment in what we're doing. So this week is kind of a groundbreaker week for you, where we are going to be reflecting on that basis of functioning and getting a clearer definition of what it is we're trying to achieve. This understanding is going to go a long way in supporting us in this week and the weeks to come. Let's get a little bit more clarity here. What should my Lepidolite friends focus in on this week? This deck is incredibly hard to shuffle, but incredibly accurate. And this week, oh wow guys, it's bang on. Decoy. Look for the true culprit. Self-sabotage may be at work. Evaluate if it's something you really need to do or if it's a tempting distraction. I love this deck. I have 3 different versions of it, and they're always bang on. That decoy is this perfectionist idea and ideals, the way your ego is trying to hold you back, trying to distract you from what's truly important, will bring fulfillment and joy to your everyday through growth, development, and understanding. Your ego hates growth, because growth means change and evolution. That's not safe. And in your ego's mind, safety comes first, which means stagnation is a must. So this week, we're going to hit home and do some reflection and start to release some of these aspects, these thoughts, these beliefs that aren't serving you. They're not helping you in a high vibrational way for your greater good. They're actually slowing you down and causing you more stagnation. So let's see how this week is going to challenge you into this reflection and understanding. What can my Lepidolite friends expect from the beginning of the week? The 9 of Wands. 9s are about all that we've achieved, all that we've overcome. That wand is that inner fire, that flame, that connection. The 9 of Wands talks about having this amazing fiery backbone, created through experience, through achievement. Some of it is high vibrational and supportive, while others, well, not so much. We need to be looking at and reflecting on what has been working. What does that look like? And how does it impact you right now in your current situation? We don't want to give any more light, energy, or acknowledgement to what's holding us back, what is creating that stagnation. We don't need something to blame. We don't want to point our finger at something, because that is aggression built on fear. We want to work on what's going right, what invigorates, inspires, and fulfills you. That's where we want to put our attention, our focus. This perspective shift will support you in creating that life that you want without looking at an ideal of perfection. Because like I said, perfection shifts and changes. If you have a very rigid perspective on what perfect is and what your life has to look like, it's really hard to achieve. Again, we go back to the inability to achieve said unachievable goal, causing heartache and fear, causing more stagnation. So let's shift perspective. When we shift our perspective, we can start to create change in our everyday. We're focusing in on what goes right in our world, what brings us happiness and joy. And before you know it, you're creating something that is more fulfilling, more abundant, and more perfect than you ever thought. Because our perfect is based on what we know. And we have a very limited understanding of what's going on. The universe, the high vibrational beings, they understand perfect. They can see it. They can see ahead, to the sides, and behind us. We can barely see what's in front of us. So, the beginning of the week, we're encouraged to focus in on what's going right. Take some time during our day to reflect in on what's going right, those abundances, what brings you fulfillment and joy, which is going to tap in to the creativity of the wand, that inner fire, that passion, and allowing it to spill out into your week and into that perfect life. So that reflection, it's going to be important. You can also add in, should you have the time, because again, we need to balance things out. We don't want to create another decoy in our environment. Taking time here and there for that reflection. And if that feels too overwhelming, add in that element of creativity. Rather than making it some grand or overwhelming experience that creates burden, put it down as something that is more fun, more exciting, and joyous. Again, perspective. Going in and doing something creative, whether that be your favorite activity or passion. Giving yourself that time away from what we think, what we should, what ought to happen. And get into that passion. You're starting right then and there to shift perspective. Shift where your energies go. That in itself will help with that reflection. Because as you're participating in that creative endeavor, in that passion endeavor that is based on joy, happiness, and love, that supports you on your journey, that encourages others on theirs, well, that's when you're going to get those aha moments, those eurekas, those epiphanies that support us in understanding what is going to help us out the most right now. We start to declutter and gain a better perspective as to what's going to bring in meaning. This will help to lead way to looking at some more reflection, where you are sitting down and going, what does bring me meaning? What does bring me joy? And what's more, how can I bring that more into my everyday, into my week, the weeks to come, the months to come? Shifting perspective and getting out of that decoy or limiting beliefs that we have regarding what it is we want to do. So, reflection and creativity is what we're starting the week off on. Let's go into the middle of the week. What can my Lepidolite friends expect from the middle of the week? Can I say how much I really enjoy that Nine of Wands? it brings me happiness and joy. That phoenix, that dance, that creativity. The King of Wands. We're still in that fire, that passion, that courage and determination. Now, kings have the fullest and most defined personality of their suit. They're the most control and power. That courage, that determination to not back down is going to be needed. Because like I said, our ego does not like evolution, change, growth, development. It's going to start to push and cause resistance to this understanding, to this perspective change. Because this perspective change is going to give you the growth and that life that you're looking for. In the middle of the week, we have to make sure that we're not backing down, that we're staying true to our passions. We're staying true to that phoenix, helping us to rebirth ourselves in a slow, steady manner. This week, I'm asking you to reflect in and look at that perspective shift. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm not asking you to blow things up. I'm asking you to stay true to your passions, to your inner flame, that fulfillment that we have when we do things that are meaningful for us. That's going to help you define where it is you need to go. That understanding in itself is one of the main opportunities that this week has for you. We're going to be able to make those small shifts that are going to create the change that we need. That's going to support us with that growth, that development, and getting ourselves truly unstuck. Aligning ourselves to our soul's deeper purpose, bringing in even more fulfillment, even more joy into our everyday and into our life, creating that perfect scenario. Because perfect really is that fulfillment, that joy, and having abundance in our life. We know we have many things that are going right. We have abundance. We have joy. So therefore, we've already hit that perfect life. However, as we are creatures of learning and experiencing, that's why we're here, we want further growth, further development, further fulfillment, further perfection. So, we know that we need to continue on that reflection, that understanding. And the reason why it's flowing through a lot of this week, guys, is that this is something that we need to balance our day out with. We don't want to hyper-focus in on it. Little bits of time here and there will give you the answers you're looking for and not burden you or create more feelings of being overwhelmed. So that's why it goes forward into more than a couple of days. It's something that we need to continue to work forward on. So let's look at the end of the week. What can my Lepidolite friends expect from the end of the week? Oh, fantastic. Shadow Dancer, the 15th card in the major arcana in this deck, also known as the Death card. Releasing what is not working. We're going to deploy those decoys and let them go, which is terrifying for many people. Terrifying for your ego. Know that this reflection and understanding will need action. When you see a map and you want to get somewhere and you know what path you need to take, you will never get anywhere without putting action to that plan. And that is exactly what we're looking at. At the end of the week, we're going to start to release some of those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs we have that are holding us back. Again, we're not looking at earth-shattering change here. Those leaps and bounds are unstable. They're unsustainable. They actually cause us to revert and regress even more, causing even further stagnation and a lot more challenge in getting ourselves going again. So we want those sustainable small steps, those small shifts, because just like when you're walking, even those small little baby steps, they add up. At the end of the week, we're looking at releasing. And I know that can be really hard because how do you do that, right? It's not like it's in some sort of weird handbook, but yet it is. I have many tools that I've created over the last year because we are looking at turning points. Back in 2019, so if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that in October, I started seeing that 2020 was going to be a foundational year where we were going to really rebalance and stabilize that foundation that we function from, ensuring that it's high vibrational and for our greater good. I never really thought about what that looked like. I just thought it was going to be really exciting. But if you're going to kind of rejig your foundation, unless you're doing it intentionally, you're going to have the tower come in. Hence 2020. This was a tower situation. It rocked our foundation. It shook us to the core, helping to see what coping mechanisms worked and what didn't. We have that ability to rebuild our foundation now. We need to do it in a very high vibrational and intentional way. Hence, this release and understanding. Releasing our thoughts and really minimizing view of self and experience with this perfection. Now, like I said, I did create some tools. So the one that is screaming at me right now is a meditation that I did with Archangel Raguel, where we started to balance out our thoughts and beliefs about self and thus our ideas about our journey. I know it sounds really weird, but yes, you can do that release in a meditation. Taking that time and setting intention will support you in achieving what you're looking for. Now, if you are new to my channel and aren't too sure about my meditations, I have 2 playlists now. One is Healing with the Archangels, where you'll find that Archangel Raguel meditation. The other playlist is a Just You and Me playlist, where there are meditations that are just you and me, and we work on tools and skills that will support you on your journey. All my meditations are about 30 minutes long. They're a guided meditation, and most importantly, they're free for you to visit and revisit as you need. These tools are there to support you, and it's important that we use our tools and these opportunities to our advantage. At the end of the week, we do need to take some time. We need to release some of those feelings, beliefs, and thoughts we're having that are minimizing our ability to create more fulfillment and more joy in our everyday. This will help us to shift gears, shift where our ideals and goals are, and our perspective on perfection. This is an amazing week. Has many amazing opportunities for sustainable change through small shifts. This is a process and it will take some time. You are in control here. You have that ability to create fulfillment and joy that is meaningful and sustainable for you. You are the one, though, that needs to put in this work. and get that job done. So this is what our week offers us. Let's look at the challenge we're going to face. I know I said we're going to have our ego, but let's see what else we'll be dealing with this week. What challenge will my Lepidolite friends face for the week of February 28th through to March 6th? The Knight of Pentacles. Knights are that adolescent, no fear energy. That pentacle is about growth and stability. We're going to feel unstable, uncertain, and again, we're not going to have that direction, that dedication to what we're doing. Because really, we're kind of feeling like we have that stability in what we're looking at or what we're trying to achieve. Why change something that isn't broke? However, when you look at it, it is broken. It's just we've never reflected into it or critically analyzed what's going on for you right here and right now. It's going to be important that we maintain that dedication, that courage and determination to look at your situation. Look at those hopes, those dreams, those expectations, those demands. What do they really mean? How do they support you in what it is you're trying to achieve? What it is you want from this experience in this lifetime? One of the ways that we can support this courage and determination is through maintaining a grounded and stable energy. This starts to turn the Knight here from an obstacle more to an ally, giving you that dedication, that focus in on self. One of the ways that we can focus in on that grounding is through a meditation that I created in my Just You and Me playlist, where we're looking at that grounding. When we have that grounded, stable energy within, we're more able to make clear and high vibrational choices for us. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, like the other knights, they have tasks that they need to do. They have that quest. The Knight of Pentacles is focused in on his homeland, his farm. Pamela Coleman Smith, who drew the original Rider-Waite deck, created this knight standing steadfast in his field that he had just plowed. And that's exactly what we're looking at doing here. Plowing our field, trying to get a more fertile ground, if you will, for the growth that we're wanting. So when we have that stable energy within, we're encouraging that Knight forward to support us with our growth. And that Knight is within us. That stability will encourage us. Now, the meditation is fantastic. You can revisit and participate in it as you need. To support you with maintaining that stability and that grounded feeling, you can utilize crystals to support you with that. So any red or black crystal will support you in that stability and grounded energy. So something like a tiger iron or black obsidian. These are easy and readily able to be found in stores and online. You can get bracelets and pendants. You can even get polished crystals that you can tuck into your pocket or tuck into your bra. Just make sure that if you're going to have it next to your skin, that it is that polished. You don't want it rough, because you can hurt yourself. They can start to cut or hurt your skin because some of them are pretty rough. So again, using those tools that are right at hand to your advantage. And that's what we need to do. Really reflect in and see what's right there, what's right in front of us, and how we can use it to our advantage to support us in what it is we're doing. Let's add some more supports here. let's go into some blessings. What blessings will my Lepidolite friends be able to embrace for the week of February 28th to March 6th? Enlightenment. Those aha moments, they're there. Should you take the time for you, supporting you in understanding your journey and what it is you want to do, what you need to do. We need to be open to this information for what it is, rather than trying to twist it into something that will suit your current thought patterns. This information is to support you in shifting that perspective, shifting that thought pattern, so that you are able to grow. We can't stay in the same situation. That's not enlightenment. That's stagnation. So, being open to that information, which means being present in our current right now, not being hyper-focused in on the future, on what we want, but being present, being connected into that fulfillment, into that joy. When we're in that joyous creative energy, like I said, those aha moments come fast and furious. We have to get out of our head and get out of our way. Self-worth. I really enjoy the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. It kind of nails it on the head. This week is about understanding and really appreciating self. Loving self through creating a situation where we can grow and develop, where we have that fulfillment and that abundance. Like I said, that meditation with Archangel Raguel is going to help balance out your beliefs of self. Another meditation that can support you, actually it's 3 meditations that I've done with him, are meditations that I created with Archangel Chamuel regarding that self-love. Helping you to connect in with you on a deeper level. Helping you to understand you and what will be fulfilling and joyous, and what it is you wanted to do in this lifetime. This is a fantastic opportunity for you. We just need to be present and open to what this week is offering you. Let's be open to a little bit more information here. We're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Lepidolite friends for the week of February 28th through to March 6th. The 3 of Wands. We have a lot of movement cards here. And I know it's hard to see in this deck. However, the 3 of Wands is a movement card. It helps to put action to what it is we're reflecting on. Like I said before, it's important that we put action or be present and an active participant in our life. We can't just idly watch the world go by, having unrealistic goals and expectations of self. We need that active participation. I know it's hard to see the movement in this rendition of the 3 of Wands. However, the 3 of Wands talks about that movement, that progression forward. Decisions were made in the 2 of Wands, and now we have that action. And you can kind of see that evolution and growth within that family in the 3 of Wands. But this is more about that movement and growth within ourselves. You're getting a wand-tastic reading because you've got 3 out of 5 cards, wands. That passion, that inner fire, it's going to be important. It's going to connect into that fulfillment and joy. The 8 of Swords. Now, 8s are about movement and manifestation, so reconfirming that need to move forward. The 8 of Swords talks about being stuck, fearful, and uncertain. We need to start to use our entire self, all our senses, and as many clairs or intuitive tools that we can to gain the most information. In the original deck that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, there's a woman who's all bound up, blindfolded, and surrounded by swords. That's the 8 of Swords. Well, it's time to start to take our blinders off and start to release some of those bindings. And that can be done through this reflection and perspective shift. We need a clear understanding of our full situation to create solutions for our current situation, and then gaining the path and understanding on how to move forward past that challenge, past our current situation. The more information and knowledge we have, the more we're going to be able to formulate that path forward. Formulate that best course of action or our path forward. Knowledge will truly set you free this week and, well, the weeks to come. You can plan and understand what it is you want to achieve. And what's more, you can start to put action to what it is you would like in a stable and mindful manner. So, making sure that we have clear understanding of our situation through reflection and asking some of those hard questions. And finally, the 5 of Wands. Now, 5s in tarot are always about conflict. They're always about challenge. And we have yet another wand. That inner self chat, that negative self-talk, it's really going to be a problem. Our ego, like I said, is not going to like this and will tantrum. It's up to you to minimize that negative self-talk, redirecting that inner voice and that direction so that you maintain a high vibration that is serving your greater good and supporting your growth rather than causing more stagnation and fear. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some insight and direction into what the week is offering you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It helps me be found on the sea of YouTube, which supports us collectively, starting to raise our vibration and getting ourselves unstuck. And if you did like this video, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more coming your way, and you don't want to miss any of it. The best way to stay connected so you don't miss out on any of this amazing insight, healing, and education is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell so you don't miss a video. And also, if you did enjoy this video and want to support me making more, I do have a Patreon page. I have provided a link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Lepidolite friends.